All right, everybody. This is Marty the JavaScript Party. My buddy Lex. Lex. That's my son, youngest son's name. My buddy Rhett, and we are working on our 3JS Angular hybrid application. It's not really hybrid; they are together, and it's pretty cool. Like you can go and you basically all you can do is a couple things. You can do this, and you can see these things, and it applies different um, uh, different kinds of animations to these things and all that. And that's really all you can do. Oh well, and you can actually that's not all. You can do this, and you can delete, and then you can uh, look at one directly, and it even scales up. So we see that that one's doing that, whereas like this guy. Ooh, let's go back to. We can see how this one's moving a little slower, and so we could see like the different things. It's pretty useful. Um, and I like it. I like it a lot. Now, this is going to be video 274. Now, my other project that I just is almost done, right? It's a web voice application, and that is on video 141. So that one is almost done. It's got tons of features and all that, but it is done. And not only that, but it pretty much does everything in voice application. I don't on the recognition side of the house. This we are on video 274, so almost double the number of videos, and we haven't even got started. Like you we're just not even rolling. We're still in the getting started branch. I couldn't even really work with other people because on this project because it's like all the architecture is just still too primal, too early. Um, but basically, this is going to be like the reason I selected this project was first and foremost. There's like on that web API thing, I've sort of conquered everything. I understand how everything works and all that, and I worked on it for a couple years, and there's really not much more to learn in that, and I probably could have got there in like 90 days. This one, I'm pretty sure I can continue to work the rest of my life on this thing, and I'm never going to get through all the different ThreeJS things and all the ways. And the way to fit these things together is just really, really complex. So basically, it's just that this is kind of the point. The point is that I'm running into issues and I'm deeply investigating them all along the way. And it's such an enormous domain that there's no way I'm going to get to the end of it. Or if I ever do, it's like I don't even know. I can't even yeah, I don't even know. But anyways, so this is cool and all that, but the problem was um if I like if I go into like this view here and I refresh, right? And so we are deep into rabbit holes of problems, and we've gotten all the way to the lowest point of a problem that I don't know how to fix it at this point in time. So I'm gonna just move on to the next thing. But um the basic top level problem that got me here is so we're trying to move through the CRUD. So it's create, read, update, and delete. And we finally got to delete. And when we got to delete, it exposed that I had left a big part of create, or I'm sorry, when we finally got to update. Update's the hardest one, I think, or the last one to do. And when I did update, it sort of showed that it exposed something that I didn't finish up and delete that needs to get finished now. Um, so if you come in here and you hit you add a visualization, and then when you go here, and then if you say uh, delete, or you say update, as expected, number one. So this is visualization. I have an ID behind the scenes, and it's number one. Now, if you leave this view and you go to the table view and you delete it, when I go to create a new one and I come in here, I'm on 12. So it's not recycling the sequences. And I think that that is an indicator that I'm well, I should be recycling and reusing, and that's something I want. I want to be able to reuse it because I do think that if we had thousands of things in here, each one of them have their ID. and then if it does like massive deletes and stuff, we can easily run out of IDs. I think that that would be something like if we do like some sort of generated data, like with Perlin noise or something like that, and or even random, like if we're like, oh, we're just going to randomly create 10,000 things and try to fly around in them or something like that, um, we're gonna we're gonna run out of numbers. So I need to recycle the numbers. This is a problem that I'm gonna have on the rate we're going in 5 years. Um, but so I went back and then I realized, oh man, things aren't deleting. And like if you look in our, if you do an inspect and you go look at our memory and you run with, if you select attach elements and you hit run, what you're going to see is like rows that exist that don't exist anymore, but they're in the browser. So before when I, as like literally if you just navigated around, what would happen is you would start to build up tens of thousands of these things just by literally navigating around. So that had to get resolved. Like, or I really wanted to resolve that because I really thought that was going to be a problem. And we were able to figure out we were able to make changes that ended up resolving the problem. I wouldn't say we figured it out how to do it, but we've made changes that seem to have had a side effect of dealing with this thing. And we made a lot of changes, so I don't really know exactly which changes fixed what. Um, but um, now we have it where we still have the problem, but it's only when you delete something at this point is the only time we get like kind of a big one, and I don't know what the heck to do, what to do about that. So hopefully we do figure something out, like, but in at this point I'm moving on because I've tried everything and I don't know everything I can think of and I don't know what to do. And that is a reality of software development. Sometimes you just find an issue and you just have to spend some time trying to get it resolved, give it your best effort, move on, kind of have it on the back of your mind, always trying to figure out what to do. So now we're back to up, we get to go up the rabbit hole one more time, and we're going to go back to trying to figure out how in the world to um, to uh, show to get this thing to recycle all of the um, all all of the sequences when they get recycled. We don't even try to recycle them. So by the way, at this point, we did learn that when our debugging, and then when and then along the way, as we are trying to recycle things, get a better grasp of the architecture of what's happening, so that we can maybe delete things in a more reasonable way. Because right now, I don't think we're deleting things. I think we're creating massive amounts of these sort of heap snapshot memory leaks. Um, so detach elements, I can get a pretty good grasp of what's happening here. But this thing, I don't really know what's exactly happening. But I do know that we seem to like objects and these sorts of things sort of just get created all the time. And we need to sort of see, we have all these maps that exist. And I don't know if these are, so as we dig in, so we got this a weak array list. And so as we dig into this stuff, we'll probably get more like as you click around, you kind of start to notice things and all that. But so we have tons of these arrays, these objects that are just kind of sitting around, not getting destroyed. We got 900 actual objects. Um, Now these appear to be something inside of ThreeJS. And at first I was blaming ThreeJS for this, but now I think it actually is something in my code that's causing this to happen. Or maybe it does have 900 things in there. I don't know. This array things, there's 287 internal arrays. Um, Looks like they're around the SVG elements. We got these arrays. And inside of these, I don't know. I don't know exactly how this or what this does and what's happening and how to deal with it. But we sort of have to acknowledge before we could ever fix any of this. We kind of have to acknowledge its existence. I think that's one of the hardest things. So yeah, we have 9 HTML elements that it's aware of, but like if we look at our detached elements, there's like 25 HTML elements that it's unaware of, it looks like. I think that's how you read that. But anyway, so tomorrow I will start the sort of, oh, well, actually, I guess it's time to do like a commit, or it may be time to do a commit. Let's look at that. Maybe I don't have anything to commit. Doesn't look like I actually have anything to commit. So yeah, that last effort was fruitless. We didn't come out with any good code. I think it was 3 or 4 videos. We did learn about detached codes, but yeah. So tomorrow I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go into this delete behavior, um, and we're gonna just start um, recycling, going through and as things get deleted, digging through, kind of mapping through how everything works, and then as things get deleted, delete that, and sort of like I'm not willing to at this point. I'm not willing to say that I would fix any architectural issues, but I would definitely want to see if I can mitigate any um, architectural issues. When I first started this application, it wasn't like I've had a role change at work, and so now I'm a lot more sensitive to architectural sorts of things. As a contractor, I've generally my job has always been to like, hey, let's get this shit working, and that is what my focus is. Like, how do I get things working with as little impact to the rest of the system as possible? Like, try to mitigate any risks by making everything as focused as possible. Now I'm literally my whole brain is starting to rewire in a completely opposite direction, and that can be problematic because I don't want to lose those original skills of getting stuff working. Like that's the one thing. Like when I interact with a lot of people, they're always like, "Oh man, you did the hardest part. You got it working, and now we just have to straighten out the architecture." And I do think that is probably the easiest way to do things. I think that there's this fantasy that you can set up the architecture and then if you have good architecture, get it to work. There's just too many moving parts for that to work. I think what you have to do is get it working, and then once you see a working model, then architect it in such a way that things will make sense. And so I guess that's kind of where I'm at now. And I think this getting the delete recycling thing will be the path to that. Anyways, everyone have a wonderful day. Happy coding. Bye.